Hey everybody, this is Tim with Sprayfoam, and today we're going to address one of the biggest questions we get asked a lot of times is spray foam worth the cost? Does the cost justify the means? With spray foam, one of the greatest things is it will help reduce your energy expenses, your heating cooling costs by up to 50%. So what do we mean by that? On average, according to the Department of Energy, 50% of your electric costs are associated with heating and cooling, and the other 50% is associated with you just living in the home. With spray foam insulation, you can reduce that portion of your bill by approximately 50%. It's a little different for homes that heat with gas. Naturally, a percentage of that gas bill, depending on if you have other utilities, will come into factor as well. So what we have found is that the average homeowner will typically have their project paid for with energy savings within a 5-year window. We've had some that have been less. We actually did a job for an engineer, and he reported back to us that his energy savings paid for his project in 18 months, which is great. I've had some customers that was wanting to take care of some home comfort issues. One customer, he had his power bill ranged from $100 to $120 a month. So realistically, I told him you might expect $10 to $15 savings, not a whole lot, but he had comfort issues that he took care of. And after we were finished, a few months later, I was talking to him, ran into him actually out, and he said, hey, just want to let you know that the home's comfortable, and just kind of as a nice bonus, I'm saving $25 a month on my electric costs. Now, so granted, his payback period was going to be about 10 years, but on average, it's a 7-year window. So we had a customer that we did a insulation job for about a year ago. We insulated their attic with spray foam insulation, and their entire project cost $3,000. And this home, it is heated with gas, so they have electric and gas appliances. So they essentially went through their bills and calculated what they typically spent per year in electric and natural gas. So over the following year, after we insulated their attic, they accumulated the following year's expenses. And what they found, that they saved a total of $757 in energy costs. And that's just in the first year alone. Based upon these numbers, first thing you would ask about, well, how long is it going to take to repay this $3,000 investment? So based upon the first year savings of $757, this project will pay for itself in less than 4 years. If you do the math, it's actually going to break out to be 3 years and 11 months. So we'll say 4 years. So in a matter of 4 years, their energy savings is going to pay for this project, and then after that point, they will be putting $757 back into their pocket, into their monthly budgets for their family. And on top of that, they now have a home that is more comfortable in the winter. They used to complain about dry skin, that their hands would be cracked because the heat would just run constantly and dry out the air. They said this past winter they did not have issues with dry skin. It was a lot easier to breathe. They didn't have static electricity. Their kids weren't always just running around shocking each other from the static. So this project's going to pay for itself in a reasonable amount of time. So another thing we look at is what we call a return on investment. And what that means is when you invest in this case in your home, what type of dividend is that paying back to you? So again, we have a savings of $757. If you divide that by the $3,000 that was originally expensed, you will find that the return on investment for this project is actually 25%. So in other words, I don't know of anywhere where I can take $3,000 and invest it and be paid back 25% per year. You know, stock market on average ranges from 10 to 12%, and you have the risk of the market going up and down. But here you can invest in your home and actually have a return on that investment over the life of that home and the time that you live in that home. Another thing that we could look at here in this example is what type of energy reduction did they receive. So as I mentioned before, you save 50% of the heating and cooling cost. So in other words, if you heat your entire home on electricity, we know that 50% of that bill is energy related, heating and cooling wise. So you can take 50% of that half, which equates to 25%. So a lot of times when you do an attic, you can expect 20-25% reduction. And when you do a crawl space, what we get reported back to us a lot of times is approximately a 20% reduction. So in this case, before we did any work, this family spent $2,300 to $2,400 a year in electric and natural gas. And as I mentioned, it reduced by $757, and that reduction equates to a 32% savings. So this family, on this investment, they're reducing their heating and cooling expenses by 32%. A lot better on the family's bottom line, a lot better for the environment, and also they're able to pay for their expense. So Sprayfoam, it's a great investment in your home. And if you'd like to know more information and what the potential savings that could be for you, please give us a call or visit us at readsprayfoam.com.